Today we're going to be installing our new 2024 S650 headlight tint. So with the new generation Mustang means new headlights. This kit is going to cover the full frontal side of the headlight and also have a little point where it hooks up to cover part of the top, since some light does illuminate from the top. For this install, you're going to need a felt tip squeegee, microfiber towel, water, and application fluid, as well as a heat gun to make everything easier. There is the application fluid formula, which is included in the instructions that you get in your kit. Let's get started. All right, so getting into the install, make sure that the lens is clean inside the fender lip and bumper, as well as up top, since you are going to be overlapping the top. I'm going to start with spraying application fluid. Not a lot, just a little bit to get it in there so we can move it around and line it up. I'm going to peel the tint from the backing paper. We're doing the driver's side, which will be indicated on your backing paper. I'm going to light up against the side of the car and spray it with water to get it wet. It's easier if it has something against it. Just make sure you don't get any dirt or grime. You're going to line it up. I'm going to start with using this flap and getting it behind the fender, since that is going to be the hardest part. And make sure everything just lines up roughly how you want it. As you can see, you do have this flap right here, which is going to get tucked under later on, but with it where we want it. I'm going to start by spraying some water behind it just to get some of the application fluid out. And then to make sure to get all of it out, I'm going to pull it back, hold it with my thumb, and with the other hand, thoroughly spray it. You can spray it a good amount, just make sure you get all of that application fluid out. And then I'm going to lay it back down. You will notice that you're going to need to pull your bumper up slightly to get it down, but we will worry about that later on. Now that you have that side good, I'm going to pull the opposite side up and pull it back slightly and leave it there. Do the same thing, make sure you get the nozzle in there, really get all that application fluid out. You should only see water run down. I'm going to hold it and spray the same on the back side of the tint. As you can see, it's going to overlap it, so bring it in at an angle where you can lay it flat. I did swap over to a Superflex squeegee. It by no means, it's not needed at all. You can use a felt tip. I just found when installing it completely by my preference, you can put more pressure behind this and get all the stuff out. Now what you're gonna focus on is working from the middle out to get all of the water and air bubbles out from under the tent. Do a moderate amount of pressure, and you should be able to see as you go down, see all of the water escaping. Be careful around the curve, but besides that, you are good to go. You may get fingers as well, which are what these little parts are. You're gonna get that later on with a heat gun. Since I am using the Superflex squeegee and it is a little sharper, I'm going to wet the surface occasionally to make sure it just glides over it. As I said, you can use the felt tip squeegee, and for some parts of this, it's easier to use that. However, I'm just partial to this. We offer both of these on our website, installation kits as well as just the squeegees. Once you get it to this point, you have most of the lens solid. I'm going to swap over and I'm going to use a microfiber towel and put a felt tip inside of it. You can do the same with the Superflex. And I'm going to take a heat gun, and now we're going to work at getting the fingers out, and we're going to wrap all of the edges in. Be careful with the heat gun not to use too much heat, as you can cause creases that way. But I'm just going to apply some heat and then go down. Still working center out. Make sure you stay in the area for only a few seconds. If you stay in the area for too long, you might mess up the film. If you do mess up the film at any point, we do have a goof-proof guarantee, which lets you get specific pieces at a discounted rate. Works out great if you get something like our full front and rear kit, and say you mess up a taillight, you can get that specific panel replaced at a fraction of the cost instead of needing to order the full taillight tint again. Just continue working at it. Center out. And you can see it start to form. And as you can notice, I go down and then I push into the crevice to get that tint to really form around the headlight. I'm starting with the bottom half and then I'll eventually move up to the top. The tint is cut around a 1/4 inch larger than the lens is on every side, with the thought process for you to wrap it around the lens to really give a full covered look. Make sure every single side is covered and you're not putting it on and you can see a little light at the bottom, a little light at the top. This is going to give you that full covered look. Now working our way to the spot where you can see the top, work at an angle, put the heat gun on it, and then use that squeegee and just wrap in. And it's all going to just form with it in a line. Make sure that you do work from the center out, like I mentioned, because if you start from the top bottom, then you might get some water or air trapped at the top and you just can't do anything with it. So this is going to be a little more tricky. All that's left is the back corner. What I'm going to do is hold the bumper up, put a little heat on it, get in there with that microfiber towel and felt tip squeegee. Do it one more time. This time I'm going to put the heat gun down and hold it up with one hand while getting that squeegee under there so I can really get it in there good. See about any areas that you missed. See there's a spot in here I need to still get. What? Go over the entire lens too. Just really get it adhered to the headlight. You are good to go. We do offer a paint protection option for these headlights, which will be awesome and really protecting it. It is installed slightly different. The general idea is the same. However, you do need to use a different formula. But besides that, there you go. Thank you for watching and have a great day.